Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of F Talk, where I get to chat to amazing, ambitious women who are working for themselves, doing work that they love, and we get to have a chat here and get to share that with you, and it's really inspiring to watch. And today we've got Gail Johnson, and she's here, so I'm going to join you in a minute, and just to give a brief introduction to anyone who comes across us, yay, and wonders what this is all about. I'm Gemma Stowe, and I'm obsessed with empowering ambitious women to really believe in themselves, to stop holding back or hiding, and to get out there and run unstoppable businesses. And that's what I am truly passionate about. I'm so grateful to do work that I absolutely love. And that's what the F movement is. And the F movement is all about being whoever the F you want to be, right? There's so many words, F words, that describe me and women that I know, like fierce, fearless, you know, they're all about freedom, flexibility, family, fun, feminism, you know, all sorts of different words that we come up with, feisty, fire in your belly, being focused, and on fire. And it's just, that's what the F movement is. It's a space, it's a group where women come together and support and empower each other, because it's not easy. It's not easy working for yourself and being ambitious and doing work that you love, but it is possible, and I want women to believe that they can do that. So let's get on with this show today, which is F Talk, and I get to interview Gail Johnson, and she's here. So if you're watching this and you join us, please say hello in the comments. Here she is. Let's get her on camera. Share it. If you can share it in the F movement for me, I would be truly grateful for that as well.
Yay!
So here's Gail. Hooray! How you
Hello. I've just had to move right to the other side of the house to my bathroom.
Yay!
Because they've started digging at the front of my house.
Oh,
So here I am from my toilet. I'm like worshipping my toilet, joining you today. So how about that for keeping it real?
That is keeping it real, and that is what we're all about, right? We're all about transparency, honesty, and keeping it real, and I love that. So welcome, Gail, from your bathroom.
Thank
Please
you.
tell us a bit about yourself, what you do, and you know, what you stand for.
Yeah, okay. Well, I run Red Tree Writing, which is my copywriting business. So what I do is help people who are running their businesses because they deeply, truly, madly care about it, that they've got something, fire in their belly about what they do, and they want to get it out there, and I help them with words. Amazing. So that might look like polishing up LinkedIn profiles, you know, or it might be more like helping them with blogs, or it might be kind of just spending a few hours with them, really tuning into what they're about, and how they can lay that out there. Because often, in some ways, I think writing's a lot like coaching, that people don't see it themselves, don't they? They don't see their own stuff. Yeah. And the same is true with words. Words is almost like another barrier, I think, that people put between themselves and their audience sometimes, because they can just build up into this crazy thing, and it doesn't have to be. So that's what I love to do. I love to work with people who love to do what they do and help them unlock all that amazing stuff so they can get it out there. And someone's coming into the bathroom now. Yeah, my daughter's coming into the bathroom now. Talk about keeping it real. This is Rowan.
Hi. Hi there, gotcha.
That's Gemma.
Hi.
Can you just go away again so I can have a little
I just need to know where blue tack is.
Blue tack. I'll come and find it in a minute, okay?
Awesome.
I am living the keeping it real, right?
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Awesome. It's happened to me loads of times. That's what live is all about, right? We are keeping it real, so thank you. That sounds amazing. I love what you're about. I love what you stand for. And it's so true, because, you know, there's so many of us that are so passionate about what we do, but we do hold back a lot of the time because we can't verbalize it, because we can't get it into the words. And, you know, I've often found myself writing blogs, and I love writing. I do love writing. I love reading and writing. But I write blogs and I can't quite find the words, or I can't quite get that passion, that experience out on paper. And it's tough. It's tough for a lot of people. So I love what you do, Gail. It's amazing.
Thank you. And I think you're right. You know, it is tough, and it's also tough to feel like you're putting yourself out there, isn't it? Like still now, I have there's two particular people, but they stand for lots more. That every time I post something on my Facebook page or in my group or write a blog, I've got these two people in my head, and I think I can picture what they're saying, And I've just got to remember that is not who I'm for anymore. That's not who I'm writing for. And it's about clearing all that lot out.
Yeah.
Working out who you are for.
Yeah.
Working it's that connection, isn't it? Like, what do you stand for?
Yeah.
Who do you want to help, and bridging that gap. And what I love about words is it's just the most fantastic, whether they're spoken or written, it's the most fantastic way to bridge that gap. So getting that right, and I'm not saying getting that right as in being perfect, I'm just saying like tuning in, like really tuning into who you are and who you're for, and doing that, and not worried about this crazy sense of perfection, because perfection comes in all these weird shapes and sizes, you know. So yeah, that's what I'm about. Just
exactly. And those are two massive things that I talk about that stop people moving forward. Perfection is one of them that stops us in our tracks, and sometimes we can't move past it. And the other one is just trying to tune in and being a bit vulnerable, and and putting yourself out there can be really scary. And we do that through words, but that's how we make connections with the people we want to connect with. But it can be a very scary place, can't it, for people to do that? And
absolutely. And also, like, another thing that I find really interesting, just coming from like a more formal background. I used to work in a big university, so it wasn't corporate in a capital C, but it was corporate in that big machine. So the whole point, the way of being professional there was about what you wore, the language you used, quite formal, like building your little empire, and it was quite like lots of office politics. And bollocks to all that. That is not what professional is. To me, what professional is being honest. So delivering what you say you're going to deliver on time. Yeah. And that's it. That it's about being honest, doing what you say you're going to do, and being authentic and being who you are. And that is the way to be professional. You can wear what you like, say what you like, look like you like. Exactly. That's what professionalism's about.
Definitely. I couldn't agree more. And, that's all about integrity to me. It's basically summing that up, isn't it? It's like you do what you say you're going to do. You show up. You be true to yourself. You be true to other people, and being honest. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, totally.
Great way to define professionalism. Totally on board with that. So what's the best thing about working for yourself? What do you find?
I bloody love it. I get to set my own terms. That's the best thing. No. The best thing, when I was at work in my old job in employment, the thing that drove me crazy was most of my work wasn't actually work. It was kind of managing people's moods, or managing, like, writing reports or papers that might have to get seen by someone for 5 seconds, and it was just all this crazy game that everyone was playing. But none of it felt like work. Whereas now I get to spend my time with the clients I want to work with, because I only work with, I've got to tell you my story about labia as well in a minute, but
Sounds interesting.
I only work with clients that I want to work with, and I get to set the terms of that, and that is just, plus I bloody love writing. I've always done writing in one way or another, so being able to focus my work time on stuff that I love, it just feels so much more, it's freeing, but it also feels like I can be the best me, rather than faffing about with all these other people's agendas that are nothing to do with me, really. It's none of my business. And I think often when you work for other people, you're so messed up in other people's business that you can't do that. So you can be a little bit more focused, I think, when you work for yourself, in terms of when you work, in terms of who you work with, and the stuff you choose to put your energy into. You've just got a hell of a lot more control over it. And I am totally unemployable now. Like officially unemployable. Yeah. I couldn't go back.
So we have to make it work, right?
God, there's no going back. Definitely.
So working for yourself, as you know, the F movement, it's all about being honest, like we just talked about, and staying with integrity. What are the things that you find hold you back? Because, I want women to know that it is tough working for yourself. It's not an easy ride. And there are going to be days when things do stop us moving forward, and, they're not alone. What kind of things get in your way, Gail?
Oh God, there's loads of things that get in my way, to be honest. One of them, a real practical one. So I just talked about all the time wasting crap that can happen in employment. A real practical one, is I think, especially when you're first starting out, is that you kind of feel like you have to do a lot of it on your own. Yeah. And for me, like the techie side, So at the moment, my work email's broken. It's not connecting to my hosting service. So I'm not sure all my emails are coming through. And that's been like that for a few weeks now, because I am not, I'm lazy in the sense that I'm not putting my energy into fixing that problem, because I know I can get in touch with my clients other ways. But it's stuff like that. It's stuff like not having that backup laid on for you. You can go and build it, and you can create your own support networks practically and professionally and all of that sort of stuff. But you have to create that yourself. It's not just there on tap for you. So that's frustrating. But that's a minor thing, really. The other thing that kind of holds me back often is fear, to be honest. I'm definitely not fearless. And actually, I don't know whether fearless is something to aim for, because a little bit of fear and then doing it anyway is far more satisfying. And I think you need to feel fear to get a sense of where you're at, actually. If you're completely fearless, you're kind of not grounded, are you? Anyway, so the particular thing that's holding me back in terms of fear at the moment is that I've been doing a lot of work one-to-one. And I think my real strength is in kind of tuning into people. What I would love to do more work on, but it's that kind of, oh, have I lost you?
Yeah, I'm back now. I don't know.
You're back.
Happened.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's that, if I'm truly honest, I need to push myself to offer things at a bit more of a distance, and offer things in groups, because I would love to do that. I've had people ask me for workshops and things, and I'm stopping myself because I'm worried that I can't do it in the same way, get that depth and beauty of relationship that I get with one-to-one. So I'm telling myself all these stories about it, and I just need to get over myself and bloody do it.
Yeah, it's totally stories, isn't it, that we tell ourselves, trying to convince ourselves that we need to do it in a different way because we can't do it like that. It's not going to work out, or we've not got what it takes, and all that bullshit. But yeah, it's stories. But the best thing is about identifying the stories, isn't it, and not just letting them play out and doing something about it. Yeah,
absolutely. Noticing is such a big power, isn't it? I think just noticing that in itself is amazing.
Exactly. Just paying attention, because life can be so busy and full of so much stuff that if we don't pay attention, things come under the radar, and then we miss that. And we don't want to miss anything really that we can change. So amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So what would you give? What advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh gosh, I would say to her, I wrote a letter to her last week, actually. I would say to her, just, be yourself, seriously, and don't put you all up the wrong ladder. This is something that I've heard someone else say. So I spent my 20s, I'm 37 now, I spent my 20s going after all the wrong things. I kind of treated work like school, and I did quite well at school. I passed my exams and all of that sort of stuff. And I learned to follow rules, really. And then I spent my 20s in the same way with work, just kind of trying to work out what the next thing to do was. Being asked to go for this job or offered this promotion, thinking that happiness and fulfillment came from the next pay grade or the next fancy job title, thinking that's what it was supposed to be about, and that's what success looked like. And I completely and utterly lost myself. Honestly, I was miserable as sin. The colour drained out of me. And it was only having kids, really, that woke me up and made me think, bloody hell. But it made me realise two things. One, there's more to life than this kind of weekly grind and living for the weekend. And the other was, I can't let my kids think that's what life's about. And that was the number one reason I started my business, because I thought, if I want them to see and believe that life is about making a contribution, sharing your skills, sharing your time, doing things you love, then I've got to do it, haven't I? And that is the reason, really, when it comes down to it, why I started my business, because I could not forgive myself if I let them grow up thinking work is about dragging yourself through till Saturday. That's just not what it's supposed to be about. So I would say that I would love to give that gift to myself. Like, work is not about dragging yourself through till Saturday. It is about doing stuff you love, believing in it, and believing in yourself, and just don't be afraid to get things wrong sometimes.
Exactly.
You know, I was so scared of failure, and this was another school thing, really. I was because I did well, so I was terrified of getting 9 out of 10 in a test, you know, which is ridiculous. But we do this to ourselves.
I know we do, and that's another F word that I'm quite passionate about, actually, is failure, because, you know, it seems so black and white, but actually we've got to fail to be able to succeed. And for me, it goes hand in hand. And the sooner we can change our perspectives about failure and what it is, and even though just the word can give people the heebie-jeebies, and it's just like, it needs to change, doesn't it? We have to fall to get back up. That's the way it works.
Absolutely.
And it should be seen as a positive rather than a negative. And so I'm glad you brought that up. But thank you. That's a great thing. And I love that you wrote a letter to yourself.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I wrote a letter from my older self to me too. That was also quite powerful.
I bet that was interesting. Yes, I love that. I love that. I do talk to my clients about similar things like that, about going into the future and then looking back. It's really powerful stuff, and it's really important to do. So
it really focuses your mind, doesn't it, on what's important to
definitely.
Draws all those little threads out. So
definitely. So what advice would you give to anyone watching who is at the beginning of their journey, maybe thinking about working for themselves, sick of the grind that we just talked about, and they want to do work that really lights them up? What advice would you give them?
I would say, you know, love is always going to beat fear in the end. If you're drawn to doing what you love, do it. And one of the things I talk about with some women I work with is about building a runway. And for some people, doing what you love, maybe you've got a big buffer zone around you and you can just launch it straight away. You can hand your notice in and within a month you can be launching your business, and that's great. That's not going to be true for everyone, and that's totally fine too. But just do something every day to build your runway, get yourself taken off, because that process of building your runway and sort of digging your tunnel towards that thing that you love will energize you in itself and will get you closer to where you want to be. So keep moving forward, keep doing something. You know, I do this quite part-time around my kids. So sometimes I get frustrated that I'm not where I would like to be with my business, and I don't give as much time to it as I would like to. But I keep moving forward, I keep doing something. And that exploring, treating it like exploring, has really helped me this year. This whole idea of just being curious and giving stuff a go. And if it goes wrong, that's okay. You've learned something. Try something else. Just keep moving forward. That's my...
I love that analogy of a runway. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So what F word then? I ask everybody this.
I know. And you know, the one I wanted to use wasn't an F word. It was awake, because that's how I feel now I've left my employment. But so the closest I could get to that was a kind of an F word is for real, which is 2 words. So I've cheated.
Awesome.
But
we've used that quite a lot in this one, so we're keeping it real.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's about that.
So tell everybody where they can find out more information about you and what you do and how you can help them.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay. So my writing business is called Red Tree Writing, and I have a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/redtreewriting. And I've also got a really friendly group as well called the Copy Kitchen. And that's all about honesty and support. You know, I really think words and kind of that freedom to be who you are and that personality doesn't come through in a highly critical environment. It comes through in a creative, supportive, nurturing environment. So that is a safe place for people to ask. There are no daft questions. It's a safe place for people to experiment. People can share their stuff, and we support each other in there. So that's my Facebook group as well, the Copy Kitchen, which is linked to my Facebook page, or you could just find it or message me and I can hook you up. So
yeah, cool. And if they want to get in touch with you to get help from you, is it best to message then? Maybe not email at the moment.
Yes, message would be good. My email should work, but you know, who knows? It's gail@redtreewriting.com. Oh. But message me. Yeah, you've got my profile on here.
Yes.
And we will see what happens. Yeah, I'd love to have a chat to anybody. And I do sort of 20-25 minute Skypes or Zooms with people, just have a chat, which are completely free.
Awesome.
So if people want to ask any questions and just have a bit of a natter, very, very open to doing that. And then, hopefully planning a program of workshops for next year. So I'll let people know about that as well.
Louise has just put in the comment, I would love to come along to a writing workshop if it's something you might do in the future. So
fab, Louise. Right.
I would.
You're signed up, both of you.
Yeah.
You're in.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's something I'd definitely love to do. Definitely. I think everybody should. So yeah, keep us posted. Keep me posted.
Well, the first one I'm going to do, it's been brewing for some time, is a manifesto creation workshop.
Ooh,
I firmly believe everyone needs a manifesto, and I want to help people write their manifestos. So if you're up for that, let me know. Cool. Well, the F movement could write its own manifesto, couldn't it?
Definitely. I need a manifesto. I definitely do. I've got a mission, but yeah, let's make it a manifesto. Sounds awesome.
Totally.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Gail. I've really enjoyed chatting to you, and I love everything you're about. I love everything you stand for. Gail's group, the Copy Kitchen, is amazing. It's a very supportive space, so please check it out if this is something you're into. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Gemma. I'm so glad to have finally made it, even if it was from my toilet.
That's okay. I don't mind. I love you. I love you.
All right. Bye.
And I'll speak to you soon. I'll see you in the group.
See you soon. Bye.